Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Let's Go Racing Motorsports Report. I am Mike Babicz, your host. And yes, we're in a little bit different spot today. We are at the offices of People Architectural Group, and definitely want to thank them for their hospitality today. I'm going to kind of scoot over here a little bit so you can see their sign. People Architectural Group, Sarah Missiel is the founder and CEO. And if you want to know any information about human resources, you can reach out to People Architectural Group. And I'm even going to show this for a second or two, because I think you can scan it and contact the office and schedule an appointment with Sarah. She can help you take a look at your personnel policy. If you haven't looked at it for a long time and want to make sure that it's up to date with all the changing laws, she can do that. Can help with staffing, onboarding, retention, and you name it. We can do it at People Architectural Group, including fingerprinting and background checks. So if your company requires that or your industry requires that, reach out to People Architectural Group. And again, thanks to Sarah for allowing us the use of the office today. I want to thank our other partners that help us out all the time. Of course, Bumper to Bumper Auto Parts, their regional office. We appreciate their support. Steve Sinclair and the Interstate Racing Association. Steve is going to be joining us in just a little bit. Game Day Men's Health of Libertyville and soon to be in Kenosha. Great Lakes Dragaway, and we're going to be talking with John just a little bit. They are involved in a very big event and have some big events coming up. And, of course, every Wednesday night, Ladies' Night at Great Lakes Dragaway, where the women get to race for free. And you get in as a spectator for free. That's every Wednesday night, Great Lakes Dragaway. Our good friends from B&L Office Furniture, Scott Carpenter, does a great job helping us out, provides our in-home studio supplies that we need. Also, Force One Performance, BJ Irwin and his crew, Whitmore's Towing and Recovery, Fox Lake Harbor, Hunt Club of Richmond. We are going to be taking a trip out there later on this fall. MLS Auto Clinic, Debbie and Eddie Boyd do a lot to help support us. Bodycraft, who provides the pace vehicles for both Wilmot Raceway and for the Interstate Racing Association. Goodwin Performance, Lake County Hose and Equipment, Bill Fusting. Hartnell Chevrolet, and I'm going to have some information. Well, actually, I'll show that to you now. Kind of interject. This coming Saturday, the 21st of June, is going to be Cars and Custard, and that will be at Hartnell Chevrolet. It's located on Antioch Road, otherwise known as 83, otherwise known as 75, a little bit south of Highway 50 in Salem, Wisconsin. And we're going to have Cheryl McCreary's band is going to performing. We're going to have, tacos, Taco Fex or Fessy. They're going to be there with food and, of course, free custard from our friends at Culver's Custard, right there in Paddock Lake. So stop by and check it out. 10:30 a.m. till 1 p.m. It's open to all types of cars, motorcycles, race cars, show cars, you name it. And also going to be going on that day is going to be a fundraiser good for 2 all-access passes to the upcoming Chicago street race for NASCAR. And also, thanks to our good friends from A Main Apparel and Diecast, we're going to be giving away a diecast autographed, as it says, Auto on Hood by Kurt Busch. and that will be given away on Saturday, guaranteed, at Hartnell Chevrolet. So plan on joining us there. Other folks that help support us, as I mentioned, Culver's of Paddock Lake. We're going to have a car show at Culver's of Paddock Lake sometime later on this summer. We may do it right sometime in July, so keep your eyes and ears out for that. Excuse me. Impressions count. Randy and his crew do a great job in downtown Antioch. We Be Waxin', Chad and his crew do a great job cleaning up your vehicles or your boats or whatever you happen to have. Jack's Helmets. We're going to get Jack on sometime. He just does a fantastic job with racing helmets and helmets that sometimes folks use for motorcycles and that kind of thing as well. Pink Roofing. Kathy and I are currently working with Pink Roofing on getting a new roof installed on our home in Antioch. So Pink Roofing, great people to work with and have definite connections to some race teams that compete with the IRA and at Wilmot, also a supporter of Wilmot and also a supporter of our program here. So we want to thank Pink Roofing. A-Main Apparel and Diecast, as I just mentioned. Cabins on the Lake in Friendship, Wisconsin. If you want to get a getaway, a nice getaway right on the water, contact Patty and Eddie up there at Cabins on the Lake in Friendship, Wisconsin. Kaylee Burns, who does a great job taking care of Grandpa's hair and Grandma's hair. Kaylee's located in the salon right near 1175 Sports Bar and Eatery Complex, not Sports Bar, Sports Complex and Eatery up there in Kansasville, right on the corner of 11 and 75. Hence, that's why they call it 1175. Midwest Motor Coach and Olson Transportation. Rob Olson and his crew do a great job providing the transportation for the Lake County Honor Flight to and from Foss Park in North Chicago up to the Mitchell Airport and then the return. And speaking of Lake County Honor Flight, coming up on July 20th, it's a Sunday afternoon. It's going to be the John Davis Jr. Memorial Golf Outing. It's a fundraiser. If you want to know more, contact me. Nielsen Enterprises, John Hatterline, attorney at law, 5-Star Race Car Bodies, Daniel Sanchez, Carl and Corey Schultz. If you're looking to get started and work in the world of motorsports, contact 5-Star Race Car Bodies. As I mentioned, the Northern Illinois Council on Alcoholism and Substance Abuse, they're having a golf outing this coming Monday. That's right, this Monday. You still got a few spots left, and actually, if there's 2 people out there that are interested, you can golf with Cody Tennyson and myself as part of our foursome, and that's going to be on Monday at the Glen Flora Country Club. And if you're interested, reach out to me, or you can go to their QR code. And what else do we have going on? We also have, if you're interested, and if I get in trouble with this later, I'll just plead ignorance. There is a charity raffle that's going to be happening on Monday. I have tickets. If you're interested, just $20 for one ticket, $6 for $100 for a chance to win. There's only 300 tickets being sold. It's a 50-50. You do the math, you're going to win. The winner's going to win $3,000. So $20 investment for $3,000. Much better than the lotto. Let's see if we got anybody else that we want to definitely thank. Of course, Tim and Great American Tire. And as I mentioned, of course, Hartnell Chevrolet. We're looking forward to coming up there this coming Saturday. And then there'll be another event there in August on August the 9th. And again, be watchful of things that are going to be happening soon at some other showing venues. Want to recognize some of our race winners this last weekend at Wilmot Raceway. The Autometer powered by Gandrud Performance, Wisconsin Wingless Sprint Car Heat Races win. The Fox Lake Harbor Presents All-Star Performance Heat was won by Tim Cox out of Park City, Illinois. The Game Day Men's Health Presents Baleen Racing Equipment Heat Race went to Alan Hafford from Beach Park. The BR Motorsports Presents King Race Products Heat Race was won by Rusty Egan out of Round Lake Heights. And the Bodycraft Fast Qualifier was Bryce Andrews out of Kenosha with a 14.708 clocking. And the feature event went to Adam Taylor out of Wheatfield, Indiana, past guest here on our program. Congratulations to Adam. He finally picked up a feature win at Wilmot, and I believe he's one of the leading point accumulators now currently in the Autometer powered by Gandru Performance Wisconsin wingless sprint car point standings. The Wilmot point standings I haven't seen updated yet. Last week going into them, it was Chris Klemko was the leader. In the 1175 Sports Complex and Eatery IRA Lightning Sprints, the feature event was won by Mark Heinert out of Waukesha, and scoring a heat race win earlier was Mark Heinert, and congratulations to him. He had a really good show and a really good day, and and want to grab those couple of the Fox Lake Harbor Presents All-Star Performance heat race was won by, as I mentioned, Mark Heinert, who also won the feature. The Game Day Men's Health Presents Baling Racing Equipment heat was won by Tim Branham, and the Bodycraft Fast Qualifier was Brian Strain Jr. with a 14:62 clocking, and that was all on Saturday night at Wilmot. The Street Stock feature on Family Night was won by Josh Gehrig out of Pleasant Prairie, and he also won the heat race earlier, and Brandon Mervis out of Salem picked up the win in the other heat race. The Bandit heat races went to David McKellips of Mount Pleasant and to Ryan Johnson, Tiny Horse of Salem. And the feature was won by Craig Cruiser out of Kenosha. The Dirt Late Models, the Dirt Car Late Models Summer Hell Tour, the Summer Nationals, they kind of call it, the Hell Tour for late model racing was at Wilmot Raceway on Monday night, and it was Drake Troutman of Hyndman, Pennsylvania, scoring the feature win. Finishing in second was Jason Fager out of Bloomington, Illinois. Third, Joseph Joyner from Milton, Florida. Fourth was Dennis Erb Jr. out of Carpentersville, Illinois. And fifth was Kyle Bronson from Brandon, Florida. The modified feature was won by Joel Siegert Sr. Out of Sheboygan, Wisconsin. The Street Stock feature was won by Blake Cruiser out of Kenosha, Wisconsin. So I think that gets you updated on all the racing these past few days in the area. The bumper-to-bumper IRA sprint cars tried their best, but were washed out of two events this last weekend. So hopefully Mother Nature cooperates much better this weekend. We're going to be talking to Steve Sinclair and Jordan Goldsberry in just a few minutes. I'm going to get John from Great Lakes Dragaway on the phone with us now to give us our weekly update on Great Lakes Dragaway. And hopefully John is able to get cell service where he is at.
Hi, Mike.
Hi, John. How you doing?
Doing good.
And Kent, I presume everything's okay. Otherwise, you will jump in and let us know. John, I know it's a busy time for Great Lakes Dragaway. Mother Nature's starting to cooperate a little bit. I mean, we've got possibility of some inclement weather, that four-letter word, maybe later on next week and the following week. But this coming weekend, of course, Wednesday night, always ladies' night at Great Lakes Dragaway. But you've got some big events coming up. Fill folks in a little bit about what's happening this coming weekend at Great Lakes Dragaway.
Okay, this weekend at Great Lakes Dragaway, they just have what we're doing is they have like a test in June, and they do their bracket program. Our big race is going to be the 27th to 28th, which is the out of sight drags. Right now we're sitting here, they're doing their sixth summer, and the stands were packed today, and they're packed pretty much now. You actually got me at a good time because they're doing some track prep, so it's not very loud here. But they had all the grandstands full, and the people that were coming in told me it was backed up all the way to 45 on KR to get in this place this morning. So very busy day here today, and they've got some of the internet celebrities like Cletus McFarland, Alex Taylor, Steve Morris, a bunch of the guys that are doing these Dragon Drive events here. So it's packed here, and the lines are long for the food lines and everything. But it's great weather for it. So it's
Yep.
Turned out to be good.
Well, summer's here, and summer officially starts somewhat on Saturday. And I know we've talked in the past. We're hoping that we get some of the competitors from Great Lakes Dragway to come on over to Hartnell Chevrolet on Saturday between 10:30 a.m. and 1 o'clock. There's going to be entertainment. Cheryl McCreary's band is going to be performing. There's going to be the taco truck is going to have tacos available and that kind of thing. And you got to cool off with some custard from Culver's Custard there in Paddock Lake. They're going to have free custard for everybody to stop by and have a little bit. And also people can take a chance and help NICASA, the Northern Illinois Council on Alcoholism and Substance Abuse, and possibly win 2 full access passes to the Chicagoland streetcar race for NASCAR coming up 4th of July weekend. And they can also win a die-cast autographed car courtesy of A-Main Apparel and Diecast, the car autographed by Kurt Busch. So, and that's on Saturday, early in the day. And I know there's also a show up at Union Grove later that afternoon. And there's racing Saturday night at Wilmot. It's a family night. The lightning sprints are in action there, along with some of the other classes as well. But Great Lakes Dragway, I know you're busy on Saturday. I know some of your cars and drivers are going to try to join us there at Hartnell.
Yeah, what we got going on this Saturday also is the Bug Fest for all the Volkswagen guys. Bug Fest with brackets going on, and then they have their Ironman brackets on Saturday. So anybody that's interested in the Volkswagen stuff, come on out and check them out on Saturday. And then Friday is also an early bird where we start racing early at noon.
All right. Well, that'll be great. And, of course, folks can always give the racetrack a call because Randy answers his own phone 99 9/10% of the time, I think. And also, folks can go to where, John, for updates. And if Mother Nature starts throwing us a curveball and there's a question, where can they go to get the latest information?
Best place to get an update, usually for up-to-date stuff, is they'll go on their Facebook page and hold it and put it on there, which is good. That's usually kept up pretty good as far as up-to-the-minute stuff to see if there's rain delays and all that. Easier sometimes to do that than it is to get on the phone because sometimes the phone gets pretty busy. And but yeah, Facebook page is good, and GreatLakesRailway.com is also a good place to go.
All right. Well, it sounds like things are starting to get busier. It sounds like some announcements being made.
There's a lot of cars here. I think there was almost 400 here today starting out. So
well, that's fantastic. That's good to hear. Racing is alive and well at Great Lakes Dragway and doing well. And I know Randy and the crew do a great job up there. And we'll be looking forward to seeing you very, very soon. And we'll be looking forward to talking to you next week and getting a further update.
Sounds good, Mike. We'll talk to you next week and enjoy the rest of your week here.
All right. Thank you, John. Take care. God bless. Bye-bye.
Yep. Bye.
And that was John joining us from Great Lakes Dragway. He just a busy place. Yep. And even during the day, you can go to Great Lakes Dragway sometimes, and they have events going on just about every day of the week. They usually take Mondays off, but it's always a great time that you can get things checked out. So okay, and we just got another golfer. Ken Jones is going to golf with Cody and I on Monday. So now we got 3. We just need 1. I think there's some golfers out there. I don't know. We're going to now get Dennis Spitz on the phone, and then at the same time, Kent, if we can bring Steve Sinclair and Jordan in, we'll kind of have a 3-way going here for the rest of the show. All righty. You there, Dennis?
Yes, I am.
All righty. And Steve Sinclair is on with us too, and Jordan Goldberry is on with us from Springfield, Illinois. And we just got a nice group here. We've got McHenry, Illinois, Springfield, Illinois, and Dennis up there in Pleasant Prairie, Wisconsin, right, Dennis?
Trevor.
Oh, Trevor, excuse me. Well, that's,
That's a little closer to Wilmot.
That's true. It's a little closer to Wilmot. Well, welcome all three of you gentlemen. Appreciate you working with us today on our few technical issues that we got taken care of. But we're going to start off with the oldest guy on the show. And no, it's not Steve Sinclair or me. It's it's Dennis Spitz. And Dennis, you are 70-something years young, correct?
Yes, I am.
Well, what's the number there?
74.
74, and still racing at Wilmot and with the IRA. Currently racing now, of course, with the Autometer powered by Gandrid Performance, Wisconsin wingless sprint cars. But tell the folks out there a little bit about your racing background, what you have driven over your long career.
Well, it started way back when there was a few years, well, not even a few years, probably just a year that I messed around with drag cars way back in the early 70s or late 60s. And then from then, I jumped into open wheel, ran modifieds, the open wheel modified, the old school modifieds at Wilmot. That's basically where I pretty much stayed, and then went into the sprint cars when they converted to sprints, and then went for 410 racing for quite a few years. Been in it since 72, so it's been a while.
Yeah, just a few years. And what type of car? I mean, I know you got into the wingless, which Steve Sinclair got going 11 years ago now, Steve? 12?
2015.
Yeah. And so, Dennis, when that division came up, why did you decide to make that move and go into the non-wing cars?
Well, I retired, and my income dropped, quite a bit to not having a job anymore. And maintaining the 410 sprint cars is a whole lot more expensive than these wingless cars. These wingless cars are just fit the bill for me. Otherwise, had the wingless not come out, I probably wouldn't be racing because it's just from the sheer expense.
Okay. Well, we're going to bring Jordan in here now. Jordan's had some success over the years in running the 410 sprint cars and has won the Wilmot regular season championship. And also, I believe, Steve will correct me or Jordan will correct me, I believe he's also won an IRA title.
Yes.
And Jordan, are you with us?
2022.
2022, yeah. Put a lot of twos in there, huh, Jordan?
Yeah.
Well, you just heard from Dennis there, a guy that's been around racing for, I don't know how old you are, Jordan, offhand, but you might have been not even born yet. I don't know when Dennis started.
No, I wasn't. I wasn't born yet, but I've been racing for a while. Not as long as Dennis, but started in 1996 when I was 6 in quarter midgets, and ran those till I was 12, and moved up into the mini sprints, which is somewhat similar to like the IRA Lightning sprints. We ran those for 4 years and been in a sprint car ever since 2007 was my first year in a 360 sprint car. We ran with the Sprint Invaders for a couple years up in Iowa, and then pretty much been in a 410 since about 2010 or so. And we've been pretty regular with the IRA since 2013, Steve, probably 2013, 2014.
Yeah, I remember you coming out and running with us at LaSalle back then, and then you gradually started coming up here, and we greatly appreciate it.
Yeah, we enjoy coming. I mean, every week it's a minimum of 4 or 5 hours drive time, but it's definitely worth it. We enjoy it a lot.
And, Dennis just mentioned that, he retired from his day job and now just sticks with the racing. As a matter of fact, while we're talking to him here, when he agreed to come on, he says, I'm not going to be real Zoom conducive because he says, I'm going to be working in the shop on the race car. So he says, if I can be just on the phone, I can handle that. Jordan, what about your day job? What do you do for a living?
So we have an apparel business. We do custom screen printing, G3 designs. We just started it about a year and a half ago. And it's been going well. We do a lot of work for local businesses as well as a bunch of racers. So yeah, it's been going well. Previous to that, I was in the lawn care and landscape business, and I guess I wasn't real bright out of high school. I didn't go to college, so um, I got to do this type of work, I suppose. But yeah, we were in the lawn care and landscape business for like 12 years, and just decided to change things up about a year and a half ago, and it's been going well.
Well, that's great. Well, I'm going to let you get the plug in now. What's the phone number or website or an email address where folks can, find out more about your business and maybe give you some business?
Yeah, G3 Designs on Facebook, or you can just reach out to me personally on Facebook and Twitter, and be happy to help.
And I know following you on Facebook that you, as Dennis has been over the years, and Dennis now has a son, Chris, that races with the IRA regularly in the 410 sprint cars. But Jordan, family's important. Family's important to all of us. And I know that you have done a lot of things. You wanted to make sure you were at your daughter's dance events and kind of left barely in time to make it to a race. and even at one time, I think he even sent the car ahead of you, if I remember that story correctly. But tell us a little bit about, the family involvement too, that they support you and you certainly want to support them back.
Yeah, it was the first night this year at Beaver Dam. I think I got there, barely made hot laps. I got there about probably 5:30. She had Lexia had a tumbling competition that day, so I didn't want to miss it. But yeah, just got one daughter, and I don't want to, definitely don't want to miss some of those things that, you just can't get them back, obviously. I was going to miss this weekend at Plymouth because she's got a dance recital, but my wife told me to go to Plymouth, so I guess I'll go to Plymouth.
Now,
So
if you got the wife's blessing, I guess it's okay.
yeah, yeah, but it's obviously it's a big commitment to do the IRA, to do all the IRA shows, and that's why a lot of times when the Outlaws are in Wisconsin and whatnot, we don't go, just because running, basically 30 nights with the IRA series is a lot, and it's enough, for working class people. So that's kind of what we stick to.
And now, how old is your daughter?
She is 7.
Okay, has there been any talk or thought of her getting into some kind of racing vehicle?
Absolutely not. No, but I don't know if sometimes I wonder if we're actually saving any money, if we might not be spending much more money if she was racing, because the dance and the tumbling aren't cheap either, but they're a heck of a lot safer. So yeah, she's not going to be a racer, that's for sure.
Okay, Steve, I'm not ignoring you. I just I got these other guys
here. I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying it.
Dennis, Dennis, tell us about what your reaction was when Chris walked up to you and said, "Dad, I want to go racing."
Well, it was expected. He worked on the car an awful lot, and obviously, I knew that was the move he would want to make. And so we put that spare car together and said, let's try it out for a while. And he's been with it ever since. I think he probably enjoys it yet.
You hope so.
Yeah, I hope so.
Well, and then you come from a racing family too, because Sam also raced.
Yes, he did. When we first started, we were actually sharing a car. We had one car, and each of us drove it once, every other week, sort of thing. And that lasted about a year. I said, no, we got to go get another one. So we got another one, and been going from there.
What got the bug in you in the beginning? You know, you mentioned the drag racing. I'm sure you raced at Great Lakes Dragway, and then moving into to the mods and that, and running at Wilmot. What got the bug to you?
I went out. I tried to compete in the drag racing. Well, I found out I couldn't compete because there was just too many factory sponsored cars or well resourced cars, and so I went out to Wilmot one night. My dad knew Junior Dodd. He used to work with him down at Manville.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, let's go out and let's go watch what they do out there. And that's when I got hooked. I was hooked. It didn't take but a minute. I said, yeah, we're going to do this. I'm going to figure out a way to do this. So Sam and I got together. I found a car. I said, I can't afford this on my own. You want to get in with me? And he did. And we went from there.
There you go. Well, you mentioned Junior Dodd, and of course we had Founders Night back on Memorial Day weekend with the great support of Mark and Tony Magdo and Bodycraft the last few years. And just had a lot of fun that night. A lot of the former racers came out and joined us that night. We even had a couple of cars on display. Steve, you've seen it developed, and Junior, Ray Toft, and Whitey Harris got this started 60 some years ago or thereabouts. We're still debating the numbers on all the bookwork we're finding, but it's right around 60 years that the IRA's been going. And now you got 35 in the lightning sprints, that they've been going, 11 in the wingless. The IRA's grown a lot from Ray Toft's kitchen table with him and Junior Dodd and Whitey Harris.
Well, before I was in it, Dennis was the IRA president for a while, and it's all expanded from that. I mean, it was quite successful back then, and we've just kind of expanded the boundaries, I guess, the territory some, which kind of had to be done to get some more money, but it also cost more money. So Dennis gave us a good. He set the table well, and we've kind of taken it from there. And I think it's pretty cool that his son races with us, and he's been with us a long time. And it's what it's all about. I mean, I wouldn't be doing this anymore. How I'm getting old. If it wasn't the people, it's the Spitzes and Jordan and his family, and that's what it's all about. Is the family teams are what that's the backbone of IRA, and that's why we still do it.
Well, and I think to an extent that's the difference between the IRA and, the old All-Star Tour. I know there's a new All-Star Tour coming on now that maybe, Steve, you can, expound on a little bit. And then the World of Outlaws, or even High Limit. Those are business teams. Those teams do it for a living. That's all they do is race. And the IRA has never, to my knowledge, ever had anybody in it that was a full-time racer.
Well, we certainly have guys that drift in and out. Excuse me. I think Bill Baylog was pretty much a full-time racer at the end there when he was winning championships. But certainly, we raced against full-time racers all the time.
Oh yeah, for sure. We're predominantly built after a blue collar type, team, and then we're proud of it. We're not trying to be anything we're not. I probably stretch these guys or put them into circumstances that really aren't fair to them in a lot of cases when we race against professional teams, with paid crews and everything else. But sometimes it's kind of cool to see how you stack up against them. Uh-huh. Well, and it is kind of neat to see, what we saw just a few weeks ago at 141. Travis Aarons, an IRA guy, last year's IRA Rookie of the Year, beat the High Limit guys.
perfect storm, and it just shows it can happen if things go right. Travis drew a good number for qualifying, kind of set the table for the night, but he's a good racer. And, things went well. The track was to his advantage, and he's familiar with it. And it's great for all of us. Helped get us some publicity, and and he had a hell of a payday. I mean, I had the pleasure of promoting that race twice. When Tony hit the All-Stars at Plymouth, and that Rudine thing, that's a pretty cool deal, and that's a pretty neat guitar he's got, and it's something he's never going to forget.
That's for sure. Well, and a few weeks ago, Kathy and I had the pleasure of being down at your induction into the National Short Track Hall of Fame, which is something that I think was well deserved. You had a great class that you were a part of this year. We're gonna get Craig Delansky's going to be on with us soon. We're just trying to work out his schedule logistically to join us on the show here. And it was just a fun weekend. It was an enjoyable weekend, some good racing that went on there. And I know we've had you on before, and you've mentioned it, but I think it bears repeating. I mean, the reaction when you got the call, and you did a very good job. And if folks haven't seen your acceptance speech, they can go to the National Sprint Car Hall of Fame Facebook page or website, and it's the whole afternoon is there, including Steve. So if you want to fast forward to Steve, he's toward the end. He was second from the finish. But I'll tell you, every one of the recipients had great stories. And it was just I really enjoyed the afternoon.
It just goes to show how important it meant to everybody that was inducted, how special it is. There were a lot of tears, and I think I was losing it just at the table watching everybody else. So I think I was pretty much cried out before I got up there. So I was able to maintain through most of it, but it was kind of cool. Carlton Reimers went in. I've known him, with the World of Outlaws forever. Excuse me. We worked together at several Knoxville Nationals and other stuff. Craig Delansky won his first feature win was an IRA race. I forget if it was 93 or 94 at Marshfield. That was his first win ever. So we go back with him a long ways. And, obviously when I was partners with Scott Boyd and SLS, Craig drove the Caravan car, which was Scott. So I've known Craig for a long, long time. Don Ott and my dad did some engine work together. Excuse me, back on Mike Frost's car, Mike, the 88 car, and when Mike was driving it and when he made the transition to Travis Whitney. I think Don Ott did some of the head work, and my dad put the rest of the engine together. So it's kind of a combo there. So, it was awesome. It was something I'll never forget.
Yeah. Well, speaking of Hall of Fames, it was just recently announced, and we want to throw it out there. The Southeastern Wisconsin Short Track Hall of Fame voting is underway. You can go to their Facebook page and request a ballot, or you can go to their website and request a ballot. These are the nominees. I'm going to start off with somebody whose family definitely we are hopeful now that we can get at least one person in the family in now, and we're going to work on another one because the other one belongs in there too. Harry Neitzel has been nominated and is on the list for this year. And Scotty Neitzel belongs in the Hall, and he belongs on this list. And we're going to continue to work on that. There's a number of us, and I know Steve is one of them. I'm sure we could probably count Dennis in on helping. And Jordan, you don't have to live in Wisconsin to be a part. We can get you going on it too. We really need to get Scotty Neitzel in. He belongs in it. But at least we've got Harry on the ballot this year, so we want to get Harry in. Joe Buke, Brad Dahmer, Jerry Kindler, Kenny Richards, Donnie Scheffler, Jim Trado, Andy Wendt, Jim Zadroik, and Ted Dolan are the nominees this year. Again, vote. You you request a ballot through their system. You vote electronically, and you don't have to pay a membership or anything like that to be able to vote. So I'm encouraging everybody, you got till the end of June to vote. Voting ends the last day of June. And then they're going to announce the top five. They're only going to take 5. And the top 5 will be announced sometime in, I believe, July or August. And then the induction will be sometime in November. They have not set the date yet. So again, we'll have that information for you as soon as we can. Steve, I don't want to beat a dead horse, because I don't think it is a dead horse. But Scotty Neitzel, his career with the IRA, and he just won the MSA feature last Saturday night at Plymouth. I mean, he's just about anything with 4 wheels and a steering wheel, he can win in.
He should have been in a long time ago. I don't know if it's because he's still racing. I don't know, but I mean, I think I said it at the national deal. He's been with me 33 years. He started about when I started with IRA, and I didn't add him up, but he's got top 5 points, I think 25 times out of 33 years. It's incredible. He's still competitive. And there's another one. It's, guys like Jordan and Chris Spitz and Scotty. That's why I'm still doing it, because I enjoy hanging with these guys on the weekend and their families. And that's, Brenda Lee sells tickets for me when I promote a race. She'll be selling tickets for me at Plymouth Saturday night. They came to Knoxville with me. It was great. It meant a lot, to me to have them there. So certainly. There's a lot of good people. I mean, Dennis should be a candidate as well. Look at the longevity of his career. I mean, he still won a feature a couple of years ago. So, there's just so many good people and good racers from up here. I'm proud to associate with.
Yeah, and you and I are fortunate enough to be in that hall, but Joe Rose in it. It took us a while to get him in it, but he's in it. Daryl Dodd is in it, and Ray Toft is in it. Whitey's in it. The start of the IRA, and there's a number of other racers that are in it too, that have run with the IRA over the years. So, Jordan, do you have any down there in the Springfield area or in the Illinois area? Do they have any kind of a racing Hall of Fame kind of thing down there?
Not that I'm aware of. Steve might know if there is, but not that I'm aware of.
Yeah, the only one I can think of is there is the I'm forgetting, Steve, what they call it. It's the Chicago area, the one that's up this way that the McCarranses were inducted into recently.
I think it's an Illinois Stock Car Hall of Fame.
Yeah, I think you're right. They do a lot of it at Grundy. I think the actual plaques and that, I think, are displayed at Grundy County Speedway. But I know the McCarran's family was inducted. Gordy Sill was inducted, the longtime promoter at Waukegan Speedway, where the IRA ran. I mean, that's they used to run Wilmot, or at that time Kenosha County Speedway, on Saturday, and they'd run Waukegan on Sunday. At least then, Jordan, the 2 tracks were only about 30 minutes apart, maybe. And you were guaranteed they ran every weekend.
That's kind of where the Interstate Racing Association came from. I-94 back and forth between the two.
Right, there you go.
That's where it came from.
There you go. And I guess Jordan, you probably do a lot more traveling than Dennis. Over the years, I'm sure if you both added up miles, Dennis has probably got a few more miles than you. I'm not sure.
I would imagine.
But Dennis, back in the days when you did run 1 or 2 or 3 tracks within a relatively close area, did you like that better, or do you like it now where you get out and you see different tracks, you meet different fans, you're in different parts of the country?
Who's for me?
Yeah.
I'm kind of over the traveling thing. I've don't travel as well as I used to. You get me in the truck 4 hours, 5 hours at best, and I'm ready to stop. So no, I'm not a fan of the traveling anymore as much as I used to be. I mean, it used to be, I did Ohio Speed Weeks. I went to Florida. I went wherever. Every race I could think of, even in between IRA shows, if there was some midweek stuff down in Indiana, we'd go down there. But now that I'm a little bit older, I don't get real excited about that anymore.
Yeah, well, and like Tom Eller, that's going to have his car at Hartnell on Saturday, because he's partially sponsored by Hartnell Chevrolet now. He likes running down in Indiana, Ohio with that American Sprint Car Series. Is that what it's called, Steve? Or the American Sprint Car Tour?
Yeah, it's a steel block Sprint Car Series. Yep.
Yeah, and he's been running with them some. They did run a sort of co-sanctioned show at Wilmot Memorial Day weekend, or not Memorial Day weekend, the weekend after, and it was a total IRA dominance. Of course, in true disclosure, they only had one traveling car come. But those purses aren't as high, and I don't know that some of those guys are as dedicated, and the weather forecast was bad, so I kind of get it, But if if you have a group that's really got any value to it, guys are gonna follow you up there, and I can't imagine, like last week at Peevely, that's a long way for, excuse me, a lot of our guys, and we lost Jacksonville the night before, so Peevely for a lot of us is probably 7 hours or whatever. I don't know anybody that wasn't going, we were all going, and that's, you got to know what you have for teams, when you make your schedule, you got to know who's going to support you and who's not, or have a pretty good idea. The bulk of the guys are with you when you put these things together. Jordan, what about you? I mean, the travel, you've got a young daughter, you've got a family, you've got now a family business. I mean, do you like the travel? Do you like, okay, well, we've been doing this for a while. I've gotten to travel kind of as much as I'd like, and I'll travel for the IRA. But as you mentioned, you don't, go out of your way to get to a World of Outlaw race.
Yeah, I don't know if I enjoy the travel. I enjoy what we do when we get there, but we can't. Steve was talking about this past weekend. We can't seem to get any of these IRA shows in that are actually close to us. Those are going to be the two closest shows all year. But it doesn't really bother me. We've got, a good size rig that makes it a little easier on the travel for, my wife and daughter. So it definitely pays off after we get there and we have a lot of fun. So don't mind it so much, but if we could get some of these close shows in, that would be nice too.
Yeah, we got to do more stuff down that way. Some of those tracks just don't want to pay what they need to pay to get us to go, but we're working on it. And certainly we'll be back at Peevely for sure. I've been really trying to stress that is the perfect location for like what I'm trying to pitch is like a blue collar nationals. We were going to have 50 cars there Saturday night, without a doubt in my mind. We were going to have 50, and not that I want 50. I'm starting to like 24 to 30 myself, but we were going to have 50, and it was going to be a big deal. And I think once we can show the promoters down there what we can bring to the table, I think there'll be more opportunities.
Well, and I think, Dennis, you've seen that. And I know Steve has, over the years when Ray Toff would have the Wilmot Opens, open sprint shows that were not sanctioned by anybody, 60, 65 cars would show up. And,
lots of times.
And over the years, and I still say it was the Wilmot rule that Ted Johnson put in that, the World of Outlaw guys couldn't run within 100 miles and I think 24 or 48 hours of a sanctioned show. And that was because Wilmot used to run them just before Santa Fe, between Cedar Lake and Santa Fe, and everybody would come. There were two drivers that never came to a Wilmot Open, Sammy Swindell and Steve Kinzer. But all the rest were there. Dave Blaney won two of them. Wolfgang won, I think, two. Doug Wolfgang, and with the house car. So and I think it's like Steve says, if it's not necessarily if you build it, they will come, but if you put together a nice enough event, they're going to come. The drivers are going to come. The fans are going to come because they want to see good racing. And, and I think, Steve, you've done a lot to try to keep that going with the IRA over the years. I guess one thing I would ask Jordan and Dennis, as I've been thinking here as we've been talking, the formats that are used today, and Jordan, I know you're more of the modern type of a sprint car driver because you've been racing a few less years than Dennis. Dennis, you recall the days when the fast car started in the back, and if you won the feature the week before, you started in the back.
Yep, I remember those days. It was a whole different ball game back then, and it was harder to win, but we came up with we changed over the years. We changed formulas, and started birding a certain number, and then we went with point average there for a little while, and all sorts of different things. But I know when you watch a World of Outlaws show, I don't like what they do because their heat races are just strung out within one lap, And then I don't, the show don't start until they start getting to the back markers.
Right. Jordan, what about you? I mean, do you like the current formats that are used, not only with the IRA, but what you might see with the World of Outlaws or even High Limit? Or would you like to see more, quote, racing, more passing of cars?
No, I like the IRA format a lot, with basically like a 2-row invert in the heat race. I think it works out well. The Outlaws is quite different. They line up straight up in the heat race. So, it takes maybe some of the excitement out, but also with as close as everyone's equipment is, I mean, it doesn't really matter who's starting on the front row of the heat race. The winner's coming out of the front row of the heat race. Whether it's the IRA or the Outlaws or anyone else, the competition is just so close. I mean, if you start and you can't come out of the B main and basically have a chance to win on that night. I mean, and if you end up starting in the back of your heat race, you're headed to the B main. Even with the IRA for the most part, So overall, I think Steve's format is probably the best for being fair, but also creating some excitement.
Jordan, what's your most favorite racetrack that you've been at in or out of the IRA?
141. We've had some good luck at 141. It's been a good track for us, but other than that, there's a lot that we look forward to. Cedar Lake's a super nice place. Peevely is really nice. So and there's basically everywhere in Wisconsin. There's a lot of good tracks up there, but 141 sticks out to me.
And Dennis, I probably know this answer because this is where it's still home to you because you could almost push the car with a four-wheeler from your house to the track. But your favorite track you've ever been to or IRA track?
Well, I'm going to say Wilmot is my favorite track because I've grown up there, and all my friends have grown up there. It's the big racing family that I know has all been, started from Wilmot. And as we branched out to other race facilities, things grew from there. I mean, there's no doubt about that. But always feels good to go back home.
There you go. And Steve, I know, over the years with your involvement with your dad and then with the IRA and with Frank Filsko, you've been to a lot of racetracks, a lot of racing facilities, and also with your insurance hat for K&K, putting on your fan hat, not your promoter hat. What's the track that you've liked the most that you've been to?
I don't know that I have a favorite. I like a lot of them. I mean, from an experience standpoint, I just pulling into Knoxville makes me, it's just something special for a lot of different reasons. However, it's a big track, and I think I prefer to watch, on a third or a 3/8. That's why I was looking forward to Peely so much. But Knoxville special, Doris special, but for different reasons. You know what I mean? George talked about 141. I've seen some tremendous IRA races at 141. It's not always about speed. Sometimes the track dries out. As long as it's got multiple grooves, it slows things down a little bit. Believe it or not, Sycamore, if there's a top, when there's a top also, that provides 2-3 groove racing, so that's what you want to see. But just from an emotional standpoint, it's Knoxville.
Okay. Well, we're starting to wind down on time, and I always like to give everybody a chance to give their marketing partners a plug. Jordan already took care of the family business, but he can repeat it again. So Jordan, marketing partners that help to get you up and down the road and to the IRA races all year.
Yeah, we've got some great partners. We get a lot of help from Rockstar Energy Drink, Flamin' Hot, Hy-Vee Fast and Fresh, Rhine Auto. Mike and Craig Erner up in Plymouth have been a great supporter of ours the past few years. So it takes a lot to compete, a lot of help and a lot of dollars. So we're really appreciative of everything, all the help that we get.
And obviously, you've mentioned your family. Any crew members you want to give a shout out to?
Well, yeah, I've been since day one. It's been, my dad's been there every step. So I wouldn't want to do it with anybody else. But he's the one that got me into it, and we'll do it until one of us doesn't want to do it anymore. But other than that, we've had my brother-in-law Lucas and Steve and his son help us as well. So and when my wife comes, she helps out. So it's definitely fun to do it with everybody.
Okay, and Dennis, what about you?
Well, of course, you always have your number one, your spouse. Tina really loves to do what we do, and that's one reason why we keep on doing it, is because we both enjoy doing it. Health-wise, that gets a little slimmer during race nights. We've got Natalie, Kyle, and Becca. They come out and help us all the time. They're all family, they're all cousins and stuff like that, nieces. No nieces, they're just cousins. But they're all related, with the Davidsons and the Williams family. So I got Josh doing this, and I think his mother probably hates me, but well. But yeah, we've got some good partners too. Who've been with us a long time. 45 Diner, mostly, like I say, they're mostly friends more than they're business partners. They're mostly friends. But 45 Diner there in Bristol, and then we got B&L Office Furniture there in Kenosha, Scott Carpenter and his group, and then what else we got on there? We got Pfeiffer Autos trailer sales. They're on Highway 50 in Bristol. So it takes a lot of people, but a lot of resources too. That's mostly the deal that I have to chase, just to keep the resources, because when you're retired, you don't have an income. You're just hanging on. So we do what we want to do, and we're going to keep doing it as long as we can do it.
There you go. And Steve, I know you got a couple of big races coming up this weekend. You briefly mentioned Plymouth, but now's the time to put the promoter hat on and tell the folks about the IRA schedule, not only this week, but the next couple of weeks.
Well, we're at Outagamie, which is in Seymour, Wisconsin, this Friday night. We typically book one race a year there, and it's a pretty racy joint. I like going there. And tying it up with Plymouth is a good combination for us. We got the Road America Challenge this week, so IndyCar's at Road America. So you never know who's going to be walking around the grandstands watching the sprint car race. I expect several IndyCar drivers in attendance to be watching, and Mike Kircher does a great job at Road America. It's a great tie-in, and proud to be associated with Road America on this deal. And then next week, kind of because all the IRA created a great Wisconsin fan base that, and it's not a negative, but the Outlaws and High Limit come and take advantage of the fans that we created. So we have to sometimes leave the area because the fans have spent all their money on World of Outlaw stuff, and that's fine, but so we're going to Bloomington, Indiana, and Butler, Michigan next week. And it's kind of a long drive for everybody. We go up and down I-69 from Bloomington to Butler, but we can kind of hit a couple different markets at the same time. And there's a big bumper-to-bumper distribution center real close to Butler, so that's a good tie-in for us there. You got to do what you got to do sometimes.
Yeah, well, and you've got your wingless joining you on Saturday. Are they making the trip to Seymour too, or no?
No, they'll be at they'll be at Angel Park on Sunday, however.
Okay, so Saturday at Plymouth, Sunday at Angel Park,
Yep.
And of course the Lightning Sprints are Saturday at Wilmot,
Yep.
and I'll be calling them there. So, but yeah, it's a busy time. It's a fun time. Gentlemen, I really appreciate you taking the time. Jordan, I always like seeing you in Victory Lane down at Wilmot when I see you there. And same with Dennis. I've chatted with you many a time in Victory Lane, and hopefully get to do that again real soon. And Steve, it's always great. The friendship that I've got with you is beyond words. I enjoy all your support and for our program here. And for my racing career, I just really appreciate it. So, Jordan, Dennis, Steve, appreciate you taking the time. And a little belated Father's Day, a happy Father's Day to all three of you, even though it was last weekend. It was funny because every one of us mentioned my dad got me going in this too. It took me to my first race many, many years ago. But it's our dads got us going. And so that's always a great thing. So. Gentlemen, thanks a lot. I appreciate it. I'll see you all at the races.
Thanks, Mike.
Very good.
Right,
Back to work.
Thanks, Mike.
Thank you. God bless.
Thank you.
That's going to wrap it up for this week's show. A lot of stuff. We hope you enjoyed it. There's a lot of racing going on all over. So get out and support the sport. So until we see you next time, this is Mike Babicz wishing you a pleasant evening, the best of tomorrows. Remember, kids, just say no to drugs. Thanks. Good night. God bless. And let's go racing.